If I recall, the the message of Bishop Sokben, he was present at my ordination. He told me, after the mass, sabi niya sa akin, Emil, sabi niya gano'n sa akin, mula ngayon, hindi ka na manggagamot ng bulok na ngipin, kundi ngayon, ikaw ay manggagamot ng bulok na kaluluwa.
Hey guys! Welcome to Mama's Voice! In this program, we will meet priests from around the globe. We will discuss interesting features of their lives, from their humble beginnings, their calling, the churches, and more.
During our previous episode with Father Emil, talking about his life, his vocation, and his journey on becoming a priest, he mentioned how he manages to finish dentistry and practicing it as an advice by his aunt, and later on, entering the seminary and fulfilling his dream to become a priest. In this episode, we are still here at San Guillermo Parish, Cabambangan, Bacolor, Pampanga, Philippines, with Father Emil Guiao to talk about the church and the Archdiocese.
I am Father Emil Guiao of the Archdiocese of San Fernando. I was given the assignment by our present Archbishop, Florentino Labarias, to head the Archdiocesan Commission on Church Heritage, I think 2 years ago. ACCH is a commission, is a office in the Roman Curia of the Archdiocese as a response to the invitation of Pope John Paul II in his Pontifical Commission on Cultural Heritage of the Church. The primary role is to safeguard, to promote cultural heritage in the church, and also for the safeguarding of work of arts in the church, the traditions, and the church as a whole. Okay, for my 2 years as a director of the ACCH, there are many challenges, especially on how to preserve and conserve our old churches and its structures, and also the traditions and cultures of our archdiocese, especially here in Pampanga. There are many traditions and cultures that we need to maintain and to preserve. And one of the biggest challenges that I encountered was last April 2019. We were struck by strong earthquake, especially here in Central Luzon, and some of our Spanish and culture churches was destroyed. And until now, we are now in the process of restoring it, and it's so difficult, to restore it because we don't have any building plan for all the structures. In order to restore them, we need the detailed engineering studies and the like, for this process. That's the biggest challenge that I now facing as the director. And of course, on how to encourage the community, especially the parish priests, to educate them regarding our culture churches and even the traditions and cultures. Luckily, we have 24 heritage churches here in Pampanga. The second favorite place of the Spaniards during that time is Pampanga. And we have one of the oldest church in Luzon or even in the whole Philippines is the Church of Lubao, the San Agustin Church, no? And then we have also many famous churches, just like the Baptist Church, the St. James Church, because of it, they maintain the paintings of the ceiling and even the wood flooring of the church. And also this church, the San Guillermo Church of Bacolor, it became famous because after the eruption of Mount Pinatubo, and it is now known as the Sunken Church of Pampanga. No? So many visitors, many tourists, and even pilgrims go here, no, just to look the church, no, after it was buried by the lahar. As you all know that the Bacolor Church is a pilgrim church, no, especially during the Lenten season, because of the traditions and the cultures that we have here, no. Before the lockdown, we are planning for the celebration, for the Lenten celebration, especially the Semana Santa, no, the Holy Week. We have plans for the visitors, we have plans for the Visita Iglesia, and also plans for the procession, no, and everything was halted, no, because of this lockdown, no. But we continue our liturgical services by means of Facebook Live, our video streaming, and then even we let open our church, no, during that lockdown, because we cannot stop the pilgrims going here. But of course, with we follow the IATF, no, because that is a law. So even though we were in a lockdown, but we still continue our liturgical services and the services of the church. It is my first time, to be assigned in this heritage church. Because of the history, because of the history of this church, Bacolor was once the capital of the Philippines in 1762 to 1764, when the Dutch occupied Manila. Then the Governor General Simon de Anda transferred the capital or the power of the Philippines, the government, here in Bacolor, no? And this church was very significant. It's not only, for the church, but also for the history of our nation, no? And one significant features of that history is the Nalaval, the Bacolor, no? According to the history, that time they were not able to celebrate the Nalaval festivities in Manila because of the Dutch occupation. So they transferred the celebration here in Bacolor, and since then, every year in the third Sunday of November, we have this celebration, no? And also, the history of the church, and then the famous may bukas pa, no? And then of course, the rise of this church from the devastation of Mount Pinatubo, the devastation of the lahar.
Tune in for the next episode of Mama's Boys featuring Father Emil Guiao.
There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Mama's Boys. Hope to see you in our future episode. This has been your host, Karen Dane. Jamatane!